Yet another executive is leaving Tesla. This time is Deepak Ahuja, who was a CFO, the CFO for Tesla for a while. He actually left for a little bit, for a couple of years, and then came back. Experienced executive, so it was kind of brushed aside by a lot of people. They didn't really think that is a big deal. I really actually think it's a big deal, not so much because he's leaving, but also who replacing him. And this is one of a few different stories that are coming out of the earnings call, the Q4 earnings call, which went very well. But there are quite a few little things, little stories, as you can see. I already have a couple of videos out. There will be another one tomorrow. But this time, let's talk about Deepak Ahuja and who's replacing him, and why is this good or maybe bad for Tesla moving forward. All of this is coming up next. Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. If this is your first time here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. That way you won't miss anything moving forward. All right, let's talk about Deepak Ahuja. Say what you will about him, right? Like, he came in before the Tesla went public, and some people credit him for navigating a very difficult financial situations and kind of getting Tesla out of quite a few pickles, right? On another hand, you can say, well, Tesla's been in a lot of financial issues, and maybe he's responsible for it. Maybe it's good that he's leaving. So it's hard to judge. I have to say, I don't think there's enough information out there, and obviously Elon runs everything. All of these executives there. I feel like Tesla is not like a company like all other companies where everyone has a role and they're doing their job, and that's how it is, right? I feel like everyone's kind of on a string from Elon, and there's pretty good control. So I don't want to, again, I personally just haven't followed his career enough to say one way or another, but nevertheless. The concern here is that, twofold. One, let's start with the obvious. There are quite a few executives have left Tesla in the last year. A lot of them. I remember when it started happening in 2017, I was kind of defending Tesla. I was just saying, hey, listen, this is Silicon Valley. People, poach people, and executives and talent from one company to another. And if it's 1 or 2 a year, that's perfectly, normal. Tesla is a tough company to work, for, and Elon is a tough boss to work for. So, but the last year, there were quite a few executives who left, and there was really not a good explanation or for any of them. So, for example, I really literally had to write it down here on the post-it notes. So let's see. Just the last year, people left: president of sales and service, okay, heads of accounting, engineering, HR, and an accounting again, general counsel, and now CFO. I gotta tell you, that's a little bit excessive. With Deepak, we don't really know whether this is because it's like he's done a good job and company's in a relatively good position right now and profitable, and they believe, Elon said that they believe that it's going to be profitable for this year and moving forward. I have a feeling that might not be the case, or they will come very close to not being profitable, but nevertheless, you can say that this is a milestone. Tesla is now officially profitable, and the future is relatively bright, and so he's kind of leaving on a high note. Granted, I would say that could definitely be looked at, that way, and yeah. Gonna leave it at that. Now, the problem here is, I think, is who is replacing him. And now, before that, let me just remind you guys, before we talk about that, I remind you that this video and this channel is sponsored by Evanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla. There's a discount code in the description of this video. Go ahead and grab it. That way you can save yourselves a few bucks and get your Tesla a few cool accessories. I have a few on my car, and I am very happy with those. Okay, so let's talk about the new CFO who's replacing Deepak, and his name is Zach Kirkhorn, and he is currently the vice president of finance of Tesla. Now, it sounds like this is someone Elon and Deepak kind of planted, almost like homegrown, and that, I think, eased everyone's minds. But I think there's, I don't know about this one. First of all, I don't know if you guys are aware, he's 34 years old. CFO is a very big title, especially for a huge company like Tesla. It is a major player now, multi-billion-dollar company that's still navigating through a lot of rough waters. And usually you want a veteran. Usually you want someone who's been through a few companies, he knows how to kind of navigate the politics and the waters of a gigantic company, who has been in a few pickles himself or herself, and therefore that experience will help, especially for the Tesla now this guy is 34 years old, and his main experience, and this is well, I gotta give him this, compared to Deepak, he does know how to upload a background in LinkedIn. So all right, kudos on that. But in the same LinkedIn profile, if you scroll down, you'll see this. And this is his work history, which is mainly with Tesla. As a matter of fact, he started, I think, as just finance analyst or something like that. And then he went to school and then came back. All right. So as you can see, he started in 2013. This is when he came back from school. He's a senior finance manager. And boom, boom, boom. Look at all of the quick steps, about 2 years on average each, which is pretty aggressive. And he went all the way from a senior finance manager all the way to vice president of finance, to which he was promoted only a couple of months ago. This was just in December. So he went to senior director to vice president, which is a huge, gigantic step, especially for a company of this size. And now he's went in 2 months from vice president to CFO. I gotta tell you, I'm a little bit concerned. I'm not really sure why I don't see that many kind of articles or people talking about this, but I'm sure he's a nice guy. I know he sounded a little boring, actually a lot boring on a phone call, but you don't want a guy who does your finances to be exciting guy anyway. Okay, so I'm okay with that. I don't care about what his personality is. I more care about his experience, and most of his experience comes from Tesla. When you hire a big executive, what you want is experience from other places. When Tesla is not a very it's not a company that sort of does everything traditionally. I'm assuming, including the position of CFO and how navigates his finances, though you still have to go by all the standards and regulations. I get that part, but still, nevertheless, I would say that they wouldn't want somebody who just kind of grew up with in this environment. You would want somebody, and obviously they trust him, and obviously I get that. I get the homegrown talent is great, but this is way too fast. The guy is way too young, and in this time of the company where things are pretty critical, I would assume they would want somebody more senior, somebody who has proven himself or herself that they were able to navigate a situation like this. So I don't know if that means that Elon wants to kind of control everything again, though this is a title that you really need to know what you're doing. And as a matter of fact, you would be advising to CEO on a lot of issues. I don't know, but I gotta tell you, it's a bit of a concern. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully nothing bad happens, or but at the same time, let me know in the comment section. I'm kind of interested to especially those of you guys who may be executives yourselves. Let me know. Do you think this is too aggressive? Do you think that they're taking type of a risk putting this guy in that position, or do you think exactly what this company needs? Looking forward to that. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.